From folklore and fairies
to monsters and mysteries, it came from the Maritimes.
Hi everyone, welcome to It Came From The Maritimes. My name's Chelsea and this is my co-host Evan.
Howdy.
We have a Maritime Mini for you today. So Evan, if you saw a brochure that read, "You are now in the land of mystery, see one of nature's most mysterious phenomenon," would you be intrigued?
I would be.
I mean, who wouldn't?
No, honestly.
Many others were pulled in by the magic of a new natural wonder back in the 1960s. What was this roadside attraction on the road between Fundy National Park and Sussex? Why, the New Brunswick Mystery Crater. Have you ever heard of it?
I have, yes.
So, the Mystery Crater was discovered by the Hamilton family from Ontario on a road trip. They had to pull over for a bathroom break, you see, because even nowadays, New Brunswick has long stretches of road without gas stations and bathrooms. So in the 1960s, Evan and I one night had a harrowing experience where we were driving to Quebec from Nova Scotia overnight, and I decided to not pull into the gas station in Salisbury. And let me tell you, we were coasting on fumes by the end of it.
Yeah, it turns out that a lot of gas stations there just close overnight, so we got lucky.
Unfortunately, we did not find any roadside natural attractions.
That we know of.
But true, we might have. Now, on this bathroom break, the father, Perry, had walked into the woods for some privacy, and he suddenly emerged, insisting that his wife and their two kids join him to see something unusual. You see, he had stumbled upon 3 cone-shaped holes in the ground, and Perry was so intrigued by these holes that he decided to buy the land on the spot.
You see, I love that because if I was with someone who went into the woods to use the bathroom and then came out a minute later and said, "Hey, I got something interesting to show you," I would not follow them.
No, Evan would be staying with the car. Now, the family ended up advertising their discovery, originally with a sign simply reading Mystery Crater, but they wanted to increase the pull to their attraction, so they built a snack bar, drive-in of course, it was the 60s, a gift shop, and what they called a crazy house, and they also offered guided tours of the Mystery Crater. The Mystery Crater did quickly gain popularity. In 1964, the Southeastern New Brunswick Tourism Bureau listed it as a top destination. It was the 4th most asked about destination behind Magnetic Hill, which we discussed a few weeks ago, Hopewell Rocks, and the ferry to PEI, which is apparently a destination in New Brunswick.
I love that that is still behind a way to leave New Brunswick.
Now, the origin of the crater itself was unknown at the time, but many people assumed it was caused by a meteor crash. Now, skeptics would have told you that the crater looked like it was dug by a backhoe. We have science these days. I guess we did back then, but...
No, science is new.
We have different scientific techniques these days, and geologists have determined that the 3 holes of the crater were something called karst holes, which are indentations that erode into limestone over time. So correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't this one of the theories behind the devil's footprints in Beaver Bank? Or was it the witch's footprints in Newfoundland? Or neither?
It's the devil's footprints in Beaver Bank and then the devil's footsteps in Beaver Bank and Newfoundland. But I think it was something called concretions, but it sounds like it's very similar.
Yeah, similar idea. Oh, so a rocky formation that is apparently quite common in that area. It's just a coincidence that the ones found by the Hamilton family on that fateful peace stop were circular in shape. The truly unusual thing about the crater was that folks reported experiencing optical illusions when they stood on the rim of it. Folks seem to think it wasn't actually that unusual after all, because visitors were encouraged to go to the Crazy House first, which had angled floors, water features which had an illusion that made them look like they were moving uphill, and furniture which seemed to topple over of its own accord. So these optical illusions were built to throw off our sense of equilibrium, similar to the Discovery Center had a room like that back in the day. Maybe they still do.
Sounds like something that similar to Magnetic Hill there as well.
Exactly. So if you had just gone into this optical illusion and then came and stood outside looking over this like natural hole, I could see it throwing off the sense of balance a bit.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was magic. Who are we to judge? The Mystery Crater and its various attractions welcomed visitors until 1976 when it shut down. The land was then sold to Cook Aquaculture in the 80s, and the seafood company who bought it built a hatchery covering the crater. The buildings weren't in the way, so they were left standing, but sadly vandals burnt them down. The land is privately owned, so you can't visit the site of the Mystery Crater these days, not that there is much left to see. But there is a geocache that the company has given folks permission to track nearby, so I'll include the link in the show notes so you can check it out if that's your thing. The Mystery Crater is a long legacy of lost roadside attractions that folks fondly remember. And that's our episode. What do you think, Evan? Would you have visited it if it was open?
There's a part of me that I just don't really like long drives, so it's so I like the idea of those, but I think it depends on how much it would cost, honestly.
Evan's get into the destination. Thank you so much for joining us for this episode of It Came From The Maritimes. You can find us on social media, on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at It Came From The Maritimes, on Blue Sky at ICFT Maritimes, and if you have any Atlantic Canada folklore you would like to see covered in future episodes, or any spooky encounters of your own, email us at itcamefromthemaritimes@gmail.com. Check us out on Patreon if you want bonus content. And if you enjoy our podcast, please feel free to leave us a 5-star rating and review. Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Bye-bye.